Squatting is the action of occupying an abandoned or unoccupied area of land or a building, usually residential, that the squatter does not own, rent, or otherwise have lawful permission to use. All squats we worked on are active and political in the urban districts of Salonika, whose identity they shape in terms of politics, culture, housing, and local interaction.
Squatting in the city of Thessaloniki is usually politically motivated, which means that the members of the squad identify with and decide upon their action according to certain political movements. The most prevalent of them are the anarchy, the autonomist, and the socialism. The squad could be considered as a radical political statement itself within the urban space. Both the political orientation of its members, as well as the action of the building occupation without any legal permission, serve as a response against the multiple forms of political or ideological repression within the contemporary social context. The basic tool of the squad's political expression is the exchange of ideas and the decision-making in organized open meetings where all the participants can freely state their opinion on several issues. The aim of the most squads, according to some interviewed members, in a political level, is firstly to motivate the citizens to participate actively in the gatherings, and by extent, to establish a form of direct democracy within the city. The second goal, that could be thought as an outcome of the ideas exchange, is to embrace an active and critical stance on a daily basis against any form of persecution of a social group or an individual or rights violation. As one of the interviewers comment, the effort for a reform of the citizens' political identity could be summarized in the question, what is your role in a social reality like this? Where the urban space stands for the social chaos of inequality, the squats become reminders that there are still people who may believe and try for social change and reform.
In other words, achieving social justice is one of the squat's reasons of existence. A squat, like all other political movements, interacts with society on every level, and especially with its neighborhood. Despite the media's influence on people's opinions about the occupied buildings and the squatters themselves, the most genuine reactions, whether positive or negative, come from the locals. Some positive instances are contributions in goods and useful things, actual support of the events, and positive comments on their action in the neighborhood. Moreover, the general impact squads have in the surrounding areas is an example of the social and political changes they strive to bring about in the whole city. Nevertheless, some people, either because of their ignorance or their different ideology, not only disagree, but they also have the squatters prosecuted. Still, the squatters are not discouraged by such reactions. One of the most important messages they try to convey is the ability to coexist and cooperate in hopes of avoiding future conflicts and erratic behaviors. All in all, the squad's accessibility and openness towards the locals play an important role in the continuation of their political and cultural action.
So Scots hold many cultural events for people of all ages and different backgrounds. Despite the common misconception, being a member of the squad is not a requirement in order to participate in the events, which are open and free. However, all participants consciously support and respect the way squads function, following a solidarity system. Some of the events have an educational aim, such as dancing lessons, language lessons, theater and cinema groups, and film projections. Moreover, some squats house libraries for the public, where book presentations, self-educational discussions, and events on social matters take place. Other events aim to entertain, music and theater performances, jam sessions, and others. Often, artists, either from Thessaloniki or elsewhere, consciously support the squatting movement by performing their work without an entering fee. A particular case of event is the weekly bars the squats hold, where food made from the squatters is often served. Nowadays, the cultural aspect seems to be the one people get to know first, and so it gains the most popularity in terms of local participation.
On the contrary, rarely is the issue of housing touched upon. In many cases in the past, housing was the primary aim of occupying an abandoned building. However, most of the squats examined in this project have neither housing policy nor capacity utilization. The one that has both of them has been housing Greek and foreign people for the last couple of years.
Η φαμπρικά δεν σταματά, δουλεύει νύχτα μέρα.
We talked with the person who first lived in the building and managed to make the place appropriate for accommodation. Afterwards, more people, including immigrants, were housed and they contributed to the maintenance of the building and organization of various events. Housing is not detached from the political character of the squat, hence the participation in political meetings is mandatory. Squats of Salonika might not be in the limelight in relation to the urban life, but they significantly contribute to the identity formation of the city and promote the idea of acting for change. They're an alternative source of political thinking that is among others expressed through culture, social interaction in a local level, and its ultimate form, making the squat your home.